to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. We are with the League 1 BTCC Replica Championship, guys, and we're at round 6 at the Nurburgring Sprint circuit. This is race 2. We've just watched race 1, which saw Wardrew getting himself up there for the win. He started on pole and took the win, never looked back, with Stormfly and Grasshopper just behind. Stormfly just nicking the second podium spot from Grasshopper at the very last couple of turns. So let's see what happens in race 2. You'll be glad to hear I've got the proper track map now in front of me, and the track is not the big one what I thought it was. It's only 1.89 miles and 11 turns. So apologies for the intro to turn 1. But never mind, we're here now. Let's crack on. This is a random grid. Oh dear, I'm struggling today, aren't I? This is a random grid. Well, it should be a random grid. But as you can see, Wardrow finds himself back on pole position again. So for the third time of asking this season, Wardrow, second time today, third time in the whole season. So Wardrow is on pole position. Now, that's going to do him a whole world of good, because he is leading the championship, I believe, and his nearest rivals, well, Grasshopper, well, we'll see in a minute, he's all the way down in 9th, but let's run down the grid, shall we, first, and let's have a look, see where everybody is. So let's change the camera. So, as I've already said, Wardrew finds himself on pole position for race 2. Scooby is in 2nd, Willard is 3rd, Neil Farmack, another one of those up there in the championship, is on 4th. He won't be too disappointed with that, I don't think. He is ahead of Stormfly. Stormfly sitting in 5th, another championship rival. Stealth is in 6th, Brian Moncarney in 7th. Brian is up there as well in the championship, but he's all the way down in 7th. Corky is 8th. Grasshopper 9th. Now, he will not be a happy bunny, I'm sure, finding himself 9th on the grid in this random lineup. And then poor old Unforgiven has drawn the short straw completely and is down in 10th. Now, the interesting thing is, and I'd say I'm a bit, don't know about this random grid. Is it random grid? I think we need to get confirmation, but the 3 guys on medium tyres are all at the back. So whether that is just pure coincidence or there is something that I'm not being told, but race 2 should be completely random. If it is, then, well, what a coincidence that the only 3 medium runners are all at the back. But, yeah, there we go. That's how it is. So let's crack on with this race, shall we? Get some lights out, and we will get underway. And it is lights out, and away we go. And I'm just keeping an eye on Stealth there, because the focus should be really quick off the line, and I really did expect Stealth to make up a few spots there, but staying in, well, he's in 5th now, just now back down to 6th. I thought it was going to get off the line a little bit quicker than that, but back up to the top, and Wardrew, as he did in race 1, is leading everybody around Mercedes Arena for the first time. Ooh, getting a bit squirrely there as well is Wardrew. The back end of that Mercedes didn't like that, did it? But he's managed to hold on to his position. Scooby is following him around in 2nd at the minute. Neil Farmack into 3rd already. So that's your top 3. Then we've got a bit of a scrap going on. Stormfly sitting in 4th. He's already made a place up as well. So who is it that's dropped? It's Willard. So Willard has dropped down to 5th. Started on in 3rd, didn't he? And already lost a couple of places. So Neil Farmack and Stormfly took advantage, and have already moved up a spot. Brian Moncarney in 6th with Grasshopper. Well, he's made a great start, hasn't he? Grasshopper from 9th already up to 7th, and staring at the back end of Brian Moncarney. Grasshopper on the medium tyres though. Corky, he's just made a move on Stealth, so Corky into 8th. Started on 8th, must have lost a place, but has gained it back again So Corky in 8th. Then we've got Stealth. Stealth carrying a penalty already, so he's already abusing track limits. He's down in 9th as he tries to put a bit of pressure on Corky as they head down towards turn 1. And then Unforgiven just sitting there at the back. Also on the medium tyres is Unforgiven, but he's already looking to try and make a pass on Stealth. He's having to go the long way round though at Mercedes Arena through turns 2 and 3. But Unforgiven now got himself on the inside and gets that move done. Made it look quite easy, didn't he? Stealth though still sniffing around. Although he has got that half a second penalty that he's going to have to serve. So Unforgiven now looking at the back of Corky and trying to work out where he can make his move. But Corky made it very easy for Unforgiven there. He went very, very deep into the hairpin, and Unforgiven just pounced on that. I think he was probably thinking about making the move on the back straight, but Corky made it easy for him. But Corky now fighting back as Unforgiven moves up into P8 and now gets on after Grasshopper. So back up to the top just to see what's happening as Woodrow takes us into the chicane for the second time. Neil Farmack, he's made his way up into P2, with Scooby dropping back into P3 and coming under attack from Stormfly as they go into turn 11 at Coca-Cola Curve. And it looks like Stormfly on the inside has managed to get that move done, but now it is the two BMWs side by side chasing Neil Farmack down towards turn 1. Stormfly on the inside and just ahead of Scooby. Maybe Scooby can get on the brakes a little bit earlier and get that cutback done, but I think he was trying to go a bit later. Oh, as he tried to cut back, well, Stormfly, great positioning of the car for Stormfly. He just didn't give Scooby the room, did he? Oh, Stormfly's gone very wide now then. Is he going to pick a penalty up for that? You do go wide at turn 2 and follow that line along, but I think Stormfly's got away with it. He's a very lucky boy. He did go very, very wide as he approached turn 3, and Scooby, I thought, was going to be able to nick the place back from Stormfly, but no, he's had to settle in for 4th. Early days though, we have only just hit the 4-minute mark, so there's still plenty of racing ahead of us. Brian Moncani in no man's land at the minute in 5th. He can see the two guys up ahead, so he needs to get a bit of a shake on and catch up to the back of Scooby and Stormfly. Doesn't want to let them get too far away. Grasshopper, he's made his way up into 6th, so he's having a great opening few laps of this second race. Grasshopper on the medium tyres, remember, as well. Found himself all the way down in 9th on this random grid setup, and he came 3rd in race 1, so let's just see if he can do something the same in race 2, shall we? Willard in 7th, he's hoping for a better race than he had in race 1. He had a couple of disasters in race 1 which seen him finishing right at the back, but looking a little bit better this time around as he tries to challenge Unforgiven. Unforgiven was wise to that one though, and he just let Willard have it at the first turn, but made the cut back. But Willard fighting back now as they come around turn 3 and then are immediately thrown into turn 4. So let's jump on board, shall we, with Unforgiven. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. We shall wait until somebody crosses the start finish line and then we'll do a lap with them. We've got Stealth in 9th with Corky in 10th. So still with our race leader Woodrow. In fact, what we'll do is we'll go on board with Woodrow. Won't do it just yet. We'll wait till he gets near the start finish line. Neil Farmack in 2nd, Stormfly in 3rd. So these three trying to get away from Scooby, trying to open up a bit of a gap, but Scooby's having none of that, and he is sticking with them as they go into the chicane. So now what we'll do is we'll jump on board with Woodrow and we'll do a lap with him. Although Stormfly's got the fastest lap at the minute, a 1:31.9, we're going to go with our race leader. So across the start finish line, head down towards turn 1, 620 metres from the exit of turn 11 down to the entry of turn 1, and you'll just see this bump on the right there. It's a bit of a drop. It's on the power as early as you possibly can into turn 2 at Mercedes Arena. just feathering that throttle, taking quite a wide line, not quite as wide as Stormfly did earlier, but a wide line is necessary into turn 3, and then you're immediately thrown into turn 4, which throws the car out to the left. You do pick up some track limits there, but it is a bit more forgiven. Short sprint then down into the hairpin at Dunlop Curve. This is now turn 5 on the sprint track. Then up a slight hill into a left-hander at turn 6. Using every inch of the track, maybe a little bit more as Woodrow through Warnstein Curve at turn 7. Then it's down this short hill through turn 8. And then we start the climb then towards the chicane at turns 9 and 10 into the braking zone. Try not to hit too much of that curve on the left because it will unsettle the car, and Woodrow made it look very, very easy actually. Again, a wide line into turn 11 at Coca-Cola Curve, and then we are back onto the start-finish straight. So that was a lap with Woodrow around this sprint circuit. Oh, now another lap then. And Neil Farmack still sitting in second, although he's coming under harassment from Stormfly again. Now this is what was happening in race 1. Stormfly really applying the pressure onto Neil Farmack, and he's having a bit of a look at turn 1 as well. Now it is side by side, Neil Farmack on the inside, Stormfly trying to go around the long way. He is going to be on the inside, although Neil Farmack, bit of a push around the corner there. Oh, and Stormfly unsettles as well. Well, both of them did really well to keep the car facing the right way then. I think Stormfly just helped Neil Farmack around the corner and then had a bit of a squirrel on himself. But they are both still racing. Stormfly doing absolutely everything he can to get by Neil Farmack. So let's go on board with Stormfly. Quick look in the mirror to check what's going on. Scooby is sitting there watching all this happening. He doesn't want to get involved. Stormfly just wants to keep the pressure on Neil Farmack. Now he's looking for a decent exit here, and it looks like he's got it. Trying to get that car positioned on the inside as they come through turn 8. Neil Farmack will have the inside line though as they go up towards the chicane. It is not the best line to have on entry into that chicane, and now side by side almost. No, Stormfly just had to back out. Oh, he goes all squirrely again. He is desperate to get that P2 from Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack defending like a trooper. Again, a quick look. Scooby's still there, just hanging around in the background, waiting for a mistake from either of these two guys that is just not coming. We're going to stay with Stormfly just as we're coming into turn 1, just to see him around this this next section, because this is where Stormfly fancies his chances, I think. Again, he's looking for that cutback, but the trouble with that cutback is it puts you on the outside, and Neil Farmack holding on to that inside line, making it as difficult as he possibly can for Stormfly. Stormfly now, if he can get on the outside here, he's on the inside for turn 4, but no, Neil Farmack completely wise to that. And you can see Stormfly wrestling with that steering wheel, trying to keep that BMW under control. He's having a bit of a sniff now at the hairpin. Again, he's managed to push himself through. Come on, catch up. There we go. So Stormfly, it was inevitable really. It was going to happen. Neil Farmack down into P3, where you can only take that kind of pressure for so long, can't you? But now Scooby thinks he can have a go as well, so Scooby has moved up to the back of Neil Farmack. He fancies his chances. A quick look down the field, Brian Mulcahy in 5th, where he spent most of his time, I think, in race 1, all on his lonesome, and he's doing exactly the same thing again. He's sitting there in 5th with nobody to play with. Oh, and he's still managed to cut the corner off of the chicane. That is going to give him a penalty, surely. I need a quick swig of juice. Well, he's got away with that. I am surprised. So Brian, very lucky there, got away with that, cut the corner off that chicane. A quick look behind. Whoa, what's happened here? Woodrow, what did we miss? What did we miss? So we said that Woodrow wasn't even concentrating on Woodrow. He's just out there enjoying himself, isn't he? Enjoying the sunshine. Through the chicane. Oh, whoa, what's happened there? The back end has just completely come round on Woodrow, and wow, we didn't see that coming, did we? trying to get that Mercedes back on track. He's trying to do it safely. He does manage to get back on track. He's going to have dirty tyres though, he needs to get that sorted. But Wadru now down in 5th with Grasshopper all over the back of him. And well, quite a gap now between himself and Brian Moncani. Well, what a turn of events for race 2. Stormfly could not believe his luck. He was having a great race with Neil Farmack just to get up onto the podium, and now finds himself leading this race with, what, 3.5 minutes to go? So Stormfly returning from a 2-week absence, got himself on the podium in race 1, has managed to get himself up into the lead position at the minute, and is looking comfortable for another podium finish. In race 2, Neil Farmack in P2 at the minute. Scooby is staying with him. So Scooby started second on the grid, dropped a couple of places, but now finds himself back up to P3. So he's having a fantastic race. Scooby, he's loving it out there. In fact, he's going to be challenging Neil Farmack for P2. He wants to get on a bigger step on the podium, does Scooby. Brian Moncani now finds himself in 4th. Bit of a gap to the guys in front, but an even bigger gap to Wadru behind him in 5th. A rare mistake from Wadru. Seen him spinning out on the exit of the chicane. He's still ahead of Grasshopper though. Grasshopper running the medium tyres. Unforgiven in 7th, with Stealth in 8th. Corky in 9th, also on the mediums. And then Willard, well, Willard must have had another issue. He's really not enjoying this track, is he, Willard? Started off well and finds himself down in 10th, so this maybe is just not his track. Not far off the 13.5 minute mark. Stormfly with 1.5 minutes to go, so he's going to get another lap at least out in front, and opening a little bit of a gap as well to Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack still got Scooby for company, so let's just go down and see if what's happening elsewhere. Everybody else pretty much spread out really. Unforgiven desperately trying to get a little bit closer to Grasshopper and put him under a bit of pressure. Stealth in 8th, then we've got Corky and Willard. So no, the battle really does seem to be for second, although Neil Farmack has managed to get a car, maybe 2 car lengths gap between himself and Scooby as they go across the line to start their final lap. Brian Moncani, does he think the race is over? He's flashing his lights. Maybe he doesn't realise that you've got one more lap to do, Brian. Don't slow down, you've got Wadru chasing you down. Well, do you know what? I'm going to go back. I am going to go back and have a look at this, because I've got a feeling, and if we look at the inputs, I've got a feeling that Brian thought the race was over, and he is, look, he's barely accelerating at all, unless he's got some technical issues. Unless he's got a technical issue, but I've got a feeling that Brian thought that was the race over. So now he's got a fight on his hands to keep hold of P4, because Wadru is all over him now. So I hope it wasn't a technical issue, and if it was, I hope he's got it sorted out. But yeah, Brian, let me know what you were doing there. Got one more lap to go, and Wadru is now sniffing around all over the back. Wadru senses a P4 finish. He was leading, he was out in front, he was looking very comfortable until that mistake at the chicane. And now he's just got to salvage what he can, and P4 is going to be the best he can hope for if he can wrestle it away from Brian Moncani. We've got Wadru then in 5th. 6th is Grasshopper. He's all on his own, isn't he? Stealth in 7th. Unforgiven, well, he must have had a bit of a moment as well, because he finds himself now down in 8th. With Corky in 9th and Willard in 10th. And looks like Willard has got a oh no, Corky's got the penalty. Oh, 1 second as well. We're going to have to go back up to our race leader as he comes around Coca-Cola curve for the final time. in race 2, and it is Stormfly who is going to take the checkered flag, so great racing from him. Neil Farmack across the line in second with Scooby right on his tail. Fantastic racing from Scooby, he'll be pleased with the third there. Ryan Moncani, this time he can finish in fourth. Wadru across the line in fifth, unlucky for him. Grasshopper will take sixth, although that is going to fall right into his hands because I've got a feeling he's going to be on pole for the next race. Stealth in seventh, Unforgiven will cross the line in eighth. Willard in ninth with Corky just coming across the line now in 10th. Wow, thrills and spills all the way through there. So if you want to see a bit more, the final race is coming up. It is going to be slightly darker, I think. Let me just have a quick look, because I think it's going to be at sunset. And yes, it is. So the next race is going to be a little bit later on. So the guys are going to go off, get some repairs done to the cars, grab themselves something to eat, and they will be back out later on. So I hope you can all join me then. I should be back very shortly with race